Now, this is our special case. If we didn't recognize that, we could solve it in the usual manner. In other words, we could factor this first denominator, find the LCD, and multiply every term, and there's only two terms, by that LCD. But it's the special case. We have a fraction equals a fraction. So we are going to multiply across. This times this equals that times that. So when I multiply anything by 1, it's just itself. So b squared plus 11b plus 15 times 1 is just b squared plus 11b plus 15. When we multiply b times 2b minus 3, we get 2b squared minus 3b. There's no cleanup on either side, so now we have to evaluate what type of situation do we have. Well, I see this b squared, and that's a quadratic equation. I need to get 0 on one side. Now, I'm going to send everything to the right. I could send it to the left, but I like keeping the highest power of my variable positive, so that's why I chose to go this way. So, on the left we have 0, and on the right we have 2b squared minus 1b squared is just 1b squared, minus 14b, minus 15. And now we're ready to factor. Well, it's a trinomial with a leading coefficient of 1. Opposite signs. Factors of 15 whose difference is 14. Well, 15 times 1. The larger factor gets the middle sign. And now we're ready to solve. So, we set each factor equal to 0. And subtracting 1 from both sides, we get b equals negative 1. Adding 15 to both sides, we get b equals 15. Now, I could plug negative 1 in here and see if I get a 0. Or I could just factor this. Let's see if this is factorable. And I'm not even sure whether it is or not. Factors of 15 that add up to 11. Well, 5 and 3 doesn't work. So this is not factorable. So that's not going to work. I'm actually literally going to have to plug negative 1 and 15 in. So let's start with negative 1. We have b squared plus 11b plus 15. If we plug in negative 1, we get negative 1 squared plus 11 times negative 1 plus 15. So that's 1 minus 11 plus 15. I really don't care what that is. I only care about whether or not it equals 0. So we cannot have a fraction with a denominator of 0. Well, it does not equal 0. It actually equals what? 5, I believe? Now let's plug in 15. So we get 15 squared plus 11 times 15 plus 15. Well, that's 225. And let's see, 11 times 15 gives me 165. Plus 15. Well, that's definitely not 0. I don't really care what it is. It's not 0. So that solution is acceptable as well. So we wound up with two solutions. We wound up with negative 1 and 15.